Welcome to our wiki meeting. Hopefully you're in a place that's nice and comfortable and you have some time now to be doing this in a relaxed style. Obviously you can see I'm relaxed. If I'm not, at least my cat is. So we'll proceed and pretend she's not hitting me in the head with her tail. Last week we talked about the traits that leaders experience and the ones that we want to engender more in ourselves. If you haven't had a chance to go in and do that administrator simulation, you're going to be now going ahead and thinking about those traits. If you look at the screen, it says that you're supposed to bracket. I don't care if you bracket or parentheses or what, but you're going to go back into that simulation now and look for any traits. It doesn't have to be the ones that Kirk and Locke picked up. You can be any type of trait. So when you see traits that a leader might possess, or because you're thinking about now, why are you doing what you're doing? It's that old theory, explain and predict. So you're going to explain to yourself why you did what you did. There is no right or wrong on how many you find, or whether you repeat them or not. Again, it's that journey of you understanding, getting to the understanding of why you do what you do, so that you can predict what it is that you will do in the next stressful situation that is going to be important to that. So if you haven't had a chance to write it yet, stop right now, go write that thing, and then come back to us here, and we'll continue on from there. Give you just a second. Now, if you have completed that, we're going to start this afternoon or evening or morning or whenever it is that you're doing this, probably Sunday night, half of you are there. We're going to look at theory X and Y. You've been directed to read those pages in your book, but I'm going to go over them a little bit in terms of educational leadership, so that we have an understanding of the limitations as well as the use of this theory in thinking about school leaders. Originally, theory X and Y was based upon the idea of business, the business kind of model, or the factory boss, that kind of person. And if you look in your handout, you're going to see a little self-test that you're going to give about theory X and Y when I'm done here in just a moment. The basis of it is that some people are more likely to be a theory X leader, and you will, as you start to look and see what that means, you will start to see some people in your head that from your past or your present, and maybe a little bit of yourself, that this is the way they normally lead. Others normally lead more in a participatory way. They see how the job of the leader is in a different way. The important understanding to have out of this, though, is that all of us need to be able to be theory X and theory Y based upon what the situation was. So if, for example, the situation is that we're having a fire drill in the school, well, a theory Y person is still going to jump over and become X. In other words, they aren't going to be, if you look at the list of what a theory Y person is, liberating, developmental, continuous improvement. What's important is to get everywhere where they need to be quickly, efficiently. It doesn't matter what people's opinions are, you got to go. So a theory Y person can jump to X as the situation demands, and a theory X person who usually goes by the book, who is pretty top-down management, those kinds of ways of operating, can, under certain circumstances, also become more participatory. So while we live in one neighborhood or the other, we can visit the other to be a good leader. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask you now to go to that place in your handout, look at the top, and you're going to score it according to your feelings about your boss, your leader, and it could be a current or past one, but choose someone in your mind to do that for, and then come back and at the bottom and do how you like to be led for the bottom piece of that as well. The score, again, is not so as important as the thinking that you're doing about why you're scoring what you're scoring.